Well, happy Mother's Day, everyone. You may have noticed that I made a song video today called Save Your Kisses for Me. Funny thing is that is the 1976 Eurovision Song Contest winner by Brotherhood of Man. And when they won Eurovision in 1976, I actually was living in England. I was, and in fact, I was 3 years old, almost 4. That was about a month before I turned 4. But my parents were living in England because my dad was in the Air Force. So I should have probably been more attached to that song than I was. And I know I heard it when I was growing up. I'm sure I did. But it was sort of reintroduced to me by a friend of mine that I knew in college who was kind of into 70s nostalgia and media and that kind of thing. And we're kind of similar in that way. I really like obscure or funny stuff from the 70s and 80s. And so does she. So one day she shared that video and I was like, oh, what a cute song. And I downloaded the backing track for it, thinking maybe I would make a parody with it or something. But today, I don't know, I didn't really feel like writing, because writing on Mother's Day is not always easy. And I thought maybe it would be a fun song to do. I'm sure there are people that will sing along to it. But I did want to make a comment today about Mother's Day. I've actually had kind of a crappy week. Not the worst week I could have had, but it was not a great week for me. And I just wanted to do something that was kind of fun, that would make people smile. And I know Mother's Day isn't easy for everybody. And for many years for me it wasn't easy, because I don't have kids and I wanted them. And my husband has daughters with his ex-wife, but they were extremely estranged for many years. The older one is still estranged. The younger one eventually came around, and she has 4 kids. And we've gotten to know them better. So I'm kind of turning into a bonus granny for them. And my name is Jenny, so she said, well, what should they call you? And I'm like, well, they can call me Jenny, or they can call me Grenny, you know. And I think that's probably what they'll end up calling me, but it's fun because I like to shop for kids. I really enjoy sending fun stuff for the grandchildren. But again, I've only met my husband's daughters once in person, and that was about 6 months after we got married. And their mother decided that she didn't want us in their lives, and she didn't want us to influence them. And it's not because I broke the marriage up, because I didn't actually meet my husband in person until a year after they were divorced. But I have spent the last, it'll be 23 years in November. Oftentimes, when I do try to explain this situation, many people assume that I was a terrible stepmother. Well, terrible in the sense that I wasn't involved at all. I wasn't allowed to be. So, but I wanted to have children. And now I'm kind of glad I don't have children because of the way things are going right now. However, I'm also grateful that my husband's daughter is so generously allowing me to be part of her kids' lives, even if it's only through talking to them on the internet right now. So I have good thoughts for moms, and many of my friends are mothers, and I sometimes really envy because I watch them send their kids to college or holding their grandchildren. And I'm just a housewife sitting in Germany making videos and writing blog posts. My own mom is a really interesting person. She and my dad were married for 56 years, and I'm the youngest of 4. There is an 8-year difference between me and my next sister. I think they thought they were done, and then I kind of crashed their party. And I was not always the easiest. For them, I guess. I mean, I wasn't a bad kid or anything. I'm just kind of opinionated and obnoxious. And I think they were looking forward to a empty nest. And I kind of spoiled it. But fortunately, I was a fairly independent type, so I took care of myself. And my mom is a very talented person. She's musically talented. She was a church organist for about 50 years, and she does needlepoint and knitting and cross stitch, and she owned her own business for many years. She does things with needles that I could never dream of doing, and I recently shared a photo I had of her taken at the assisted living community where she lives. That she set up herself. My mom will be 87 this year, but she still makes things. And a few years ago, she made this really beautiful needlepoint creation that she donated. It's astonishing. I can't even imagine how long it took her to make it. I couldn't do it. When I was growing up, the best thing about her business was that she sold yarn, and I would take some yarn to braid my horse's mane and tail, and that was hard enough for me, braiding the mane and tail. Took forever, and I hated doing it. I just don't have the dexterity or the patience to do needlework, but she was really, really good at it, and had made some very beautiful things. But when it comes to like being a mom, she was a dutiful mom, a good mom, but not one that really gets, not a very sentimental kind of mother who, dotes on her kids. And by the time I came along, she was sort of over it. So I may try to give her a call today, but she's the kind of mom who doesn't really get too hung up on things like Mother's Day or her birthday, or and she isn't hurt when I don't call, which in some ways is nice. I mean, I certainly never got any guilt trips for living in Germany for 10 years, but that was my lot, I guess. This is a strange video, and I don't mean for it to be strange, but Mother's Day it's a beautiful holiday, beautiful weather today, and I don't know what we're gonna do. We did go yesterday into town with more art to be framed, and again, my father was a professional picture framer after he got out of the Air Force. And so I grew up in a picture framing gallery. I never thought I would actually willingly go to one. But one of the things that we're having framed is a picture of my husband's daughter, and her family. She has 4 children. And we presented the photo to the picture framer, who said, "Wow, there's a lot of people in this photo." And I just said, "Mormons." And he laughed, and then he says, "Oh, you're serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, she's a member of the LDS church." So, and my husband was too when I met him, but I think I corrupted him in some way. So I don't know. But I hope you have a nice Mother's Day. And I hope that brotherhood of man will make you smile. Or at least my version of it. Actually, I recommend watching the Eurovision video for that song because I didn't do their little dance. And you can watch them dance to the music and be very cute. And I think they still do that dance. The ones, I guess they're all still alive now. I saw a much later video of them doing that song, and they were older and broader, but still getting down. So maybe I'll be so fortunate. So happy Mother's Day, everybody. I hope you have a good day. And if you go out to lunch, make sure to tip your waiter handsomely, because it's not going to be an easy day for them. See you next video.